Okay, hello, bonjour, and welcome to another segment of CUTV. I'm Alexandra, and today we have the pleasure of speaking with Justin Trudeau, newly elected MP of the Papineau region, who many of you must have seen the inauguration on Parliament Hill just a few days ago. Congratulations, Justin.
Thank you very much, Alexandra.
First, I'd like to ask you, your career early on as an educator must have inspired your students. What eventually inspired you to go into politics?
I think just the idea that we all have the capacity to make a difference in the world, and that's what I was doing as a teacher. That's what I've been doing through my community activism, through a lot of the work I've done on environmental initiatives, but really just seeing that each of us has different ways and different tools at their disposal to make the world a better place. It's what I used to tell my students. It's what I'm telling the people in Papineau, and it's what I'm trying to do by being a member of Parliament.
Now that you have won the vote of the people, what are the top 3 issues you plan on addressing from your political platform, and what are some of the concerns that your constituents have expressed?
Well, I think my top issues and the top issues of my constituents are the same. This is a very conservative government that we have right now. It's important to bring forward some of the challenges around poverty, around social housing, around jobs, around skills training, development, investing in human capital, investing in our future and not just in our natural resources in northern Alberta.
Environment is one of the top key issues for Canadians. What are your concerns, and how will you address that here locally in Quebec?
I think people talk a lot about how the environment is important, but they separate often environment from economy. And what we need to understand is taking care of the economy and taking care of the environment need to go together in the 21st century. How we build an economy based around green jobs, based around more energy efficiency, how we are much better about keeping our air and our rivers and our land cleaner for future generations is the level of responsibility we all need to step up on. And we have to understand that they go together. You cannot separate economy and environment anymore.
What would you tell our students out there listening about how they too can participate and make a difference in their community?
I think it's the most important thing for our students is to get involved, is to step up. Look at a cause that gets you riled up, that you want to change, whether it's poverty here at home, whether it's hunger in Africa, whether it's bed nets, whether it's conflict in the Middle East, whether it's recycling, whether it's the elderly or young people, like whatever it is, whether it's animals, whatever it is, find your passion, find your way of making a difference in the world on a small scale. Because if everyone takes care of their passions and the way they can make a difference in the world, the total vision is everyone will be changing the world in a grand way, but in a deep and meaningful way. Never feel that you have to change the entire world. You change your piece of it and you leverage that change into more and more impact. You'll be surprised to see how strong you can be. But I'm tremendously optimistic. I believe in the planet's capacity to adapt. I believe in our capacity to do the right thing, to discover solutions and to change our habits. There's no question that the time to act is right now, and the longer we wait, the more difficult the changes are going to be, and the more species we lose, the more challenges we'll face in terms of sustainability of the planet. So we need to act now. But I'm not someone who is going to preach doom and gloom. I think there's an opportunity to make an awful lot of money, to have a strong economy built around careful, positive steps in terms of environmental management, and that's where we need to go.
What can Canada do to set itself apart and become a world leader in environmental policy? What would be your vision for that?
Well, I think there's an extraordinary opportunity for a country like Canada that does have a lot of natural resources, but also has an extraordinarily well-educated, grounded, value-based population willing to step up and take steps in the right direction. The world desperately needs solutions that Canada can offer in environmentalism, but also in multiculturalism, in cultural creativity, in strength on so many different levels. Canada needs to step up. So my my challenge to every individual Canadian is to figure out how they can step forward and become part of the solution. Reach out to helping out either in politics or at the community level or with an organization or some way where they can fit into the much bigger picture we all need to be careful about.
How well is the Conservative government handling the matter?
Well, I think we got some bad news today that Canada's decided to pull out of the international water treaty that we helped found. A question of trying to save $1 million of a massive federal budget in order to step back on the environment and step back on an issue. I mean, water is going to be the gold and the oil of the 21st century, and Canada for 30 years has had a leadership role on an international body that measures and calibrates the freshwater supplies around the world. The Harper government has just announced that it's no longer interested in participating in that. That's one example of so many steps in the wrong direction where Canada is not taking on a leadership role when the world is hungry for the kind of leadership that Canada can offer.
Where do you see yourself in the political future?
Listen, I got into politics to make a difference. And people tend to forget that politics isn't an end. It's a means to an end. It's a way of making a difference. And whatever title I have, whether it's backbench opposition MP or something more a few years down the line, my challenge is going to be to do as best I can for the people here in Papineau, for the people of Canada, and to bring whatever strengths I have to making a difference in the best possible way. What that looks like, I don't know. 10 years ago, I was a high school teacher. 10 years from now, who knows? I might be a high school teacher again. The only thing that I know that in 10 years I'll be doing is making a difference to the best of my ability, because that's what I'll be doing for the rest of my life.
Thank you for watching another segment of CUTV News. I'm Alexandra Triantafilopoulos reporting for Concordia University Television. Signing off until next time.